What's up with these two part numbers?
Let's fix a servo while we talk about it.
Well, we've had hanging on our wall a 2065X servo for quite some time. So we bought this servo probably 2 years ago. It's a 2065X, and it seems as though that this part number does no longer exist on the Traxxas website.
If you go on to Traxxas and type in 2065X, it will not come up, but it will come up with 2065R.
We even asked Bob.
We did.
Has the 2065 submicro servo been discontinued?
And he replied with 2065R, 2065T, and 2065A are the available options.
Bye-bye, 2065X. Wah wah.
Thing is, it is the same part number as 2065R. So we got this for the Defender right here because it broke down in the last video.
Let's turn around.
Thing is, my truck doesn't do that anymore.
It stopped turning?
It doesn't have steering. But as you can see right here, we already had it. We checked the connectors. It's the same connector.
It's all the same. This is a metal geared servo, by the way. So we gotta tear this puppy apart and throw that sucker in.
All right, so first step of installing a new servo is take the body off.
What size tool do we need for this thing?
Probably a 1.5 millimeter screw.
I wish they would just use 2 mil on everything.
You get what you get.
Yep. So first thing we do is we unplug the steering servo from the electronic control module. Maybe we'll have to take the battery tray out, maybe not. We'll have to figure that out. It seems pretty simple so far. Just 2 screws there, servo horn.
That screw is out right there. Now we're gonna look at the back, and there should be a screw right there. So as we can see, the servo is loose, but it's not coming out. Why? Because we still have a servo horn screw to get at. It's all the way in here. So what we're gonna need to do is probably just take off these shock screws. This will pry up. So first we're gonna take off the tires. I need to take out these screws right here, of which are already stainless steel converted, but all the screws that I'm taking out that aren't will be stainless steel converted today. This should just pull out right here, stainless steel, as you can see.
Nice.
So I'm kind of going to break the rules a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of put the bit where this screw is going to be and then pry it. Might be a little bad.
It kind of bends the stabilizer as you're doing it, but it's just plastic. It'll go right back.
The servo is now disconnected from the car except for this cord. So you might think, oh, just pull it. It is under the battery tray. Let's see if we can get it out. If you can fish this wire out of there, then you're good.
Yeah, that came through fine.
Pretty good. Now the only thing is this little zip tie. Just gonna take these Knipex German cutting tools, one of the best wire cutters in the industry.
And zip tie cutter.
Yes, we probably use it.
A purpose-made zip tie cutter.
Unless
voila. Okay, so now we're doing the 2065R.
No, we're doing 2065X. Which one's the right one?
It's a conspiracy. Is the R faster than the X? Does anyone know what the R means? Does R mean anything as far as speed? Because they really don't tell you how many ounces or anything that these are.
They're just little tiny servos.
So now that you have your old servo out, you should really examine your servo horn to make sure that the gears aren't stripped out before you put your new servo in. They look fine, I think.
They look like they're there.
There is a metal servo horn that you can purchase. I don't know the part number off the top of my head, but there is a metal one, which would be an excellent upgrade. We're going to reuse it.
Nice. So I took the shocks out thinking that I would need to do that to get to the servo horn, but I guess I didn't. I just kind of needed to bend it a little bit. But I'm going to put them back in just so that it's more tidy. It's like feels really unorganized right now. So
okay,
we're going to do that.
When you get a new servo, this cord is longer than the old one, which got flung across the universe. So what we like to do is just take a tool and wrap it up, and that kind of makes it more tidy. But now watch, and it just stays.
Very helpful for other cars if you have to like stuff this inside of a receiver box, something like the Sledge, or like basically any one of these cars. The nice thing about the Traxxas Trx4m, you just plug it in right there. There's no like receiver box.
There's no stuffing anywhere. It's just there.
It's kind of nice.
So let's fish that back through.
Under there.
and then grab it again and fish it through here. See, this wire is kind of in its way.
It's funny how you can do things 100 times over with your eyes closed when there's no camera. Then the camera's rolling, you can't do it once.
You guys try it once.
We got it through. It is labeled on the ECM, electronic speed module.
It says
what goes where.
It says servo right there. And then this will sit just like that.
Alrighty.
Servo horn back on. Now that we have that in there, we should really put a battery in and turn it on to make sure the servo is centered.
Yeah, so I'm putting in the servo horn, putting the servo into the servo horn right here. But once you power it on, you know how the wheels go straight once you power it on? If that's offset, the wheels might be weird, and then you have to mess with the steering trim and all that crap. Oh my gosh, catastrophe.
How did that even happen?
Plug that in. As you can see, it went. Sometimes you can't get it perfect, but get it as very close as you can.
As we start putting this back together, we're going to use part number 9746X. It's the stainless steel screw kit for the Trx4m, and get rid of those black garbage screws.
I'm just going to take the diff cover off. It's a little too difficult to have to like bend off.
Difficult? The skid plate just has 2 screws.
We have steering.
Good.
So we're all good. All the shocks are on. Everything's ready, so now I just need to put the diff cover, skid plate, diff cover, blah, 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 back on. Don't lose it like that. And I think we're back in business. What'd you say about the Bronco?
I think we should just set them next to each other and see if that servo's any faster for any reason. Okay, they're both powered up. Bronco, Defender.
They seem pretty similar.
Let's flip them over so that there's friction. Seems exactly the same.
Seems pretty much the same. So just because you have a metal geared servo doesn't mean that it's going to be faster. We still don't know whether the R
It will be more durable though.
It will be. There we go. It did it, 100%.
It did.
Best car. It seems like the Defender performs really well, even though this does have wheel weights and everything.
But the Defender has Canyon Trail tires.
Whereas
the Bronco
these
has
BF
BF Goodrich. You know, Bronco tires. And I want to change them badly. Because when you're trying to climb something, they give out.
Well, as you can see, they're both working.
Back in action.
Very well.
That's the 2065X servo we put in there today, which now is the R.
We showed you how to install a servo, and we maybe solved a conspiracy theory. 2065R and 2065X are the same part number, but if you look up 2065X on Traxxas, it does not exist. So we just put a non-existent part into our car.
Ooh, is it valuable?
Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell so you do not miss another video. He rang the bell. Anyway guys, 3x7 Outdoor signing out.
Bye for now.